Alright boys, how's it going? I don't know why I did that. You know, you gotta mix it up. Hey guys, how's it going? Toofty here, and today we're jumping on the bandwagon of joy. I'm gonna be letting you know my thoughts on the crazy patch notes. Seems like every single TF2 in the entire world is doing this, you know, I'm gonna pop onto the bandwagon, you know, might as well. Get on the rage train of love, I don't know what that means. I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. This isn't my real video, don't judge me. It's a bonus video, okay? So be grateful, you ungrateful wretch. Now, I'm not very good at making these videos quickly and, you know, reacting to things that are happening because it takes me ages to edit stuff, plus I have a job. I don't know how people do it. How do they do it? It's mental. Do they not have jobs? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go through my 3 highlights from the list. Snappy, I know, I like it, I love it. I'm then gonna talk about 3 kind of groups I put the rest of the patch notes in. So the first list is kind of like, good job, I like the changes, feel like a change was necessary. That's one pile. The second pile is, sure, don't really care though. So those are going to be mainly weapons I don't ever use or see very often, or changes that are very minor tweaks, things I don't really care about. I'll go very quickly through that. And the third list is, that doesn't feel quite right to me, okay? So I've thought a lot about those names and they make a lot of sense to me anyway. So yeah, I'll try and make this as quick as possible. And let's first jump into my highlights. The man treads. I know what you're thinking, why on earth are those his highlights? But I think this is an interesting new little bit of game mechanicage that they're kind of introducing there, the idea of increased mobility in the air. And I think my excitement comes from the fact that I watch a lot of sixes at a very high level. I'm interested to see what those guys can do with this. Could an awesome roamer do an epic jump round some corner, onto the medic, smash his face in? Who knows? Who knows? A lot of these are kind of, you know, what can the pros do with this? Because I'm hoping some of these will be kind of unbanned for the pro scene, and then we can see some more interesting play styles and ideas come into the game. So yeah, man treads, that was cool. Gloves of running urgently, it was another one I thought was kind of interesting. I quite like the idea of the game mechanic where your health gradually goes down. I think that's going to be quite funny. What I think they should have done is though, made his speed gradually increase as well. I think that would have been hilarious. You could have gotten these super speedy scout heavies that you can just take out with one shot. Would have been amazing. Missed opportunity. Maybe I'll send some feedback on that. Maybe it's a rubbish idea, but I don't know. I thought it would be funny. The other one was the atomizer. Again, not really because of what people can do in pubs. I don't think it's going to be used that much. You know, it's got a nerf basically. But if this gets unlocked for the, you know, high level scene, I think that could be really interesting. The idea of, I'd love to see what a really good scout could do, you know, very quickly flick to the atomizer, do a crazy jump, flick back to the shotgun, shoot, flick over again, do a crazy jump, get a whack in the air. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so yeah, those were my 3 highlights. A bit random, I know, but those were the ones which kind of stood out to me as kind of, you know, got my imagination going, if you like. Some of my other highlights in terms of, I think, yeah, good job, that makes sense. The dead ringer, they've toned that down. I like it. You know, spies were getting away with murder, quite literally. The Sandman and the flying guillotine, I liked the fact that, you know, long range stuff, let's be honest, it was just completely luck. It was spam. If you got a long range hit, you shouldn't really be rewarded for that. So that makes sense. The Darwin's danger shield, I like the fact that basically in Highlander it was like, well, obviously you choose that. Now, hopefully it won't be such an obvious choice. All the way through this, I really like the changes where in the past, if there's been a weapon that has been like, well, obviously you choose that one, or this is the clear winner, then anything that changes that, in this case, tweaking the danger shield and the razorback, then I'm all for that. So yeah, hopefully those changes will make a difference. So next up, the bonk atomic punch. Quite like this change. I like the fact you got something to do whilst you're running behind enemy lines, because before it was just like hold down W and wait to be, you know, behind enemy lines. Now you have to dodge. We don't have to, but you know, you may as well try and dodge. So that's kind of cool. The crossbow, again, that was another one where it's like, well, obviously you choose crossbow. I still think it's going to be blatantly the clear winner over the needle gun, so maybe they need to do some tweaks to the needle gun, but the changes there kind of made sense. They felt like fixes, if you like. Again, same with the rescue ranger, makes complete sense toning that down. So yeah, those were my kind of good job. I like the changes. I don't think it's going to change the world too much, but I'm happy with those changes. I'm glad they're going to take place, hopefully. My sure but don't care pile. These names are very well thought through. The panic attack, sure, don't really care, don't really use it. My gut feeling is that actually it's still not really going to be used. It's one of those scenarios where, you know, I've talked about it in the past, it's similar to a shotgun but slightly different, you know? I'm not a big fan of those kind of tweaks. I won't go through all these, I'll let you read off the screen. The base jumper, for example, it was annoying, it was really difficult to get air shots, I can definitely agree with that. But at the same time, I never really faced many competent opponents who used it who are really good, so it never really was a problem for me, but sure, you know, makes sense, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Fist of Steels, but yeah, all these ones in this list, I don't have a very strong opinion on, let's put it that way. Next up, and finally, the ones I think are potentially not quite right. The Ambassador. A lot of people have been raging their faces off about this one. It feels a bit wonky to me as well. On the one hand, it feels like it should either be pinpoint accuracy or not. I feel like there's a lot of other things they could have done other than adding a random nature to the gun, but we'll see how that plays out. And again, it wasn't something that was like bothering me, but saying that, I only really play in pubs, so I imagine in higher levels it was completely banned because it was far too good. So yeah, it does make sense to tone it down, but I'm not sure what they've done is the right thing. I have a feeling they're going to go back on that just because so many people have kind of pushed back on it. The Vitasaur, so collecting organs sounds like the best thing ever, don't get me wrong. Especially if, now I've overblown this in my mind. I want to hit someone and literally see organs flying out of them. I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, but at the same time, it just feels like a gimmick. Obviously in high levels of play, you're never going to really get that close to enemies as a medic. It doesn't make any sense. But in a pub, it could be a laugh, I guess. But yeah, it just feels very risky and like encouraging the wrong kind of gameplay for a medic. So that's why that feels weird to me. Your Eternal Reward, I do like the changes to some degree, but at the same time it feels like it's kind of encroaching on the regular knife. I like weapons to be, you know, very distinctly different, but now you can disguise, you know, it feels like there's a bit of crossover there, which is I guess fine, but that's the thing that kind of felt weird for me for that one. And finally, the Heavy. The Heavy got a buff. What? How did he manage that? Everyone else got smashed to pieces. The Heavy, there you go, have a little buff. You're welcome. The reason I don't like that is because in pubs, a buffed Heavy is a force to be reckoned with. So giving them a buff scares me a bit. That's all I'm saying, all right? That's all I'm saying. It probably makes sense. My understanding is that obviously in the Sixers scene they need a buff, right? But in a pub, I don't know. It's difficult to balance him for both environments. So I can understand that. To be honest, you probably won't even notice it. It won't make much difference. So I need to calm down. It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, so yeah, those were my thoughts. I just threw them at you really fast. Sorry about that. Like I said, this was just a very quick video just so I can jump on the bandwagon of joy. I did want to share my thoughts as well, you know. I'm not very good at topical videos because by the time I finish editing them, it's about 8 months later. But hopefully I've gotten this one out as quickly as I can, and I hope you enjoyed. This has left me wondering at what stage are they in terms of actually releasing this update. I actually think they're really close. My feeling is that actually this is like the one step before actually releasing the update. So fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you agree with me or if you disagree with me. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.